welcome to another episode of The Profile. I'm Gary Dunn, and in the hot seat, the comfy chair, is Mr. Lance Karapetcoff.
How are you, Gaz?
Good, mate. Did I say that all right?
You said it perfect.
Mate, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in.
My pleasure.
First question for you, my friend, is where were you born?
Subiaco.
Yep.
King Ted. Yep.
Yep.
King Edward Hospital.
Yep. Lots of good musicians came out of there.
I think every musician came out of there. It was the only hospital we had.
So, the moment in your life where you decided, I'm going to be a musician, when was that?
I didn't have much choice. My father got me into powerhouse accordion at the age of 5. Yeah. My sister played organ. My father is one of those musicians that you could put an instrument in his hand, give him half an hour, and he'd perfect it. My grandfather was a violinist. My mother did acting. I had no choice except to follow the genes.
What a fantastic thing.
Oh, it was brilliant kit. Yeah. Except every time you had to practice, my grandfather would pull out his violin and he'd come up next to you while you're sort of trying to practice on the organ or whatever you're doing, and he starts tuning this thing, you know, and then he wants to play his songs and you just don't get that chance to practice. I could have been brilliant by now.
First band, Chief Cheats.
Chief Cheats.
1969. You're 8 years old.
8 years old.
Why Chief Cheats? What was?
I don't know. It seemed pretty cool at the time.
Okay.
You know, and the band actually consisted of 4 of us. Joe Agostino, which was the bass player who just started learning bass. You probably know Robbie Cavea, who proficient drummer. You know, does all the chart stuff. Izzy as well, who also does chart stuff now. And yeah, we put a band together with 6 songs and hammered this christening.
Hammered the christening.
With 6 songs.
That
all
lasted
night.
all of 2 years because at 10 years old you play in Atlam. And that was 1971, and that was Malta spelled backwards. Yeah,
a couple of the guys, man, Vince Zammett was one of the guys. He's still, actually, I just saw him in Malaga working here. So he was a guitar player. These were all older musicians. I was young, and we put an ad in the paper, and you know,
Sunday Times.
They came in. Dad put the ad in. They came in and auditioned. I sat behind the keyboard, and off we went. Governor Broome Hotel was the first hotel I played at.
Yeah,
and I was 11 years old.
Wow.
$40.
$40.
Oh, $10 I got.
It's more.
Each member got $40 in total.
Yeah, that's more than
$10 for the night in 1971.
Wow, that was big money.
Killer, mate.
So 1973, a band called Frost. They're interesting names, these names. Guitar player was Granville Harris.
Granville Harris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good old
Drove
Granville.
an E-type Jag.
Yeah. Wow. He had a big influence on you. Can you tell us about what influence?
You know, you're 13 years old. You've got these guys that are just brilliant players. You know, it's like getting musos of today, really good musicians, and then chucking in a keyboard player that has very little experience into this, you know, aura. And it was brilliant. And I think the first gig that we did was sort of pretty amazing too, you know.
Because when you see great musicians of today, you turn around and look over at our producer.
Oh, did I look over that way, did I?
Yeah,
no,
you did.
I passed him and I looked somewhere else.
At the beautiful lady sitting behind him.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, well, no, Simo was all right too,
yeah,
I suppose.
Absolutely,
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
We had to have that machine working for us, otherwise we couldn't get all the girls.
No one would have got anywhere without Simo, especially with the girls.
He brought the women in.
Yeah. In 1977, you joined a band called Shiner.
Yeah.
Who was in that band?
Robbie Pisano.
Oh, wow.
He was the bass player. Yeah. The DeLuca brothers, or all 3 of them actually. DeLuca, Tony DeLuca, Lily DeLuca, and Benny DeLuca.
There was never a Melaleuca? Sorry, I take Melaleuca tea tree oil. It's just reminded me of. And no offence to anyone. You know.
It was all disco. It was just pure fun. Band did really well. My first gig with those guys was supporting Skyhooks.
Wow.
So, you know, it was massive PA at the Belga Inn.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Huge. So, you know, you just develop from there.
Yeah.
And that's where it all started going uphill.
1980, you worked with David Bowie's keyboard player Dennis Garcia.
Yeah.
So what did you do there? What?
I was doing all the sound. I was playing the actual keyboards while he's doing a lot of the programming on the.
Yeah,
he had modules.
Yeah, all those modules.
Synthesizer modules.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was playing all the effects on the keyboards while he was doing all the sound effects. I suppose I was playing the keyboards, he was sound effecting, and they had a singer singing as well. I can't remember her name, but she was from England as well.
Whoever you are,
Yeah.
I apologise on behalf of Lance.
Sorry, it was such a long time ago and many resources later.
But then your career sort of went from here to just jump.
It just
because
exploded.
You auditioned for Muff and
the Divers. Yeah.
Gary Grigo, Martin Duffy, Marcus, and of course wonderful producer Alan Simpson. Yeah.
You know, it was all uphill from there. Yeah. When I joined, I mean, the name said it all. How could you not, you know, feel?
Did you go down well?
We went down very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I suppose there was a bit of a problem there with like Daily News and the advertising the band. You know.
Some guy, I don't know who it was, but some guy decided to put, I think it was Cunning Linguists on the bottom of the poster, and it sort of it created interest. You know, you've got an ideas person that creates interest.
For the people who are watching at home who don't know what cunnilingus is, can you elaborate on that?
Let's just say using your tongue slyly, I suppose, could be one way of saying it. Using your tongue slyly is another way of saying it.
So Gary and Marcus left, Michael O'Brien and Craig Tracy joined.
Yeah. And it just went from, from a very unusual band to sort of a more stable band, you know. No, the songs, you know, it was all new romantic style era back then, and the songs were just classics. And from that point onwards, you know, Martin Duffy's voice, I don't know if you've ever heard Martin Duffy.
Oh, yeah, I came to see you guys.
Well, his voice just powered out, you know, Ultravox and you know, all that type of era. And, you know, the band just worked really well, you know. Some of the songs were a bit corny, but I guess that was that era, you know.
So you had to change the name to The Divers.
Yeah.
And we know why, really. I've got why, but I mean...
No one would book us.
Of course not.
No one would advertise us.
No.
So, yeah, we had to change the name.
Because you weren't going down too well.
No, we weren't going down too well at that point.
So you changed your name to Skydiver?
Well, no, we did go down pretty well, though, but we didn't go down too well.
And then you could, in those days, in a few weeks' time, you could change your name again. So you called Skydiver.
We're just keeping on top of our game, that's all. You know, some bands hold their name for years and just fall away. When we peak, we just keep peaking and peaking. And that's just...
So you changed, you had management changes then?
That was it.
Obviously.
Okay, okay.
Yeah?
Bad management. I mean, can we mention the names?
Well,
no, they were good. They were good management in their own.
Well, some of them are
in their own office.
Charlie Sorolla, you know, Tony.
Is he still alive? I wonder.
No.
Okay, Charlie.
Yeah.
Who's the other one again?
Tony Rapinaro.
That's it. Yeah. I think he's still going.
Someone said the Dodgy Brothers, but
that's them. That was their name of the agency.
Yeah, the Dodgy
Brothers. Yeah.
So I didn't know they were the Dodgy Brothers because they.
Neither did I until I was told today.
They got me for a few dollars at the time. So singer goes over east, guitarist leaves. In comes Rob Carney, vocals, and I look up to this guy Neville Dixon.
Yes.
For many reasons.
Yes.
A semi-original band called Harlequin Tears, and I remember seeing that band as well.
Harlequin Tears was unique. It was another stepping stone on the up and down and up and down. Yeah. It was renowned for not so much its music. Well, it was. The music was actually quite good in this time.
Because you were doing new wave, weren't you?
It was sort of the songs that nobody else would play. It was new wave. It was extremely new wave, but the band was a party band, and that's all it really was.
So,
it was just.
Well, Harlequin Tears were sort of notorious for their bad behaviour. Is that? There
was a couple of members that were good.
Yeah.
And 3 members that weren't so good.
So, What can you tell me? What can you tell me? What is the Hooley bus?
The Hooley bus was an old 1960s Toyota Corolla. You know the ones that slope forward on the front and on the back on
Yep.
them. That was the Hooley bus, and basically what it was, everybody used to go to the gig in the Hooley bus, but they used to find their way into the Hooley bus by either jumping on the bonnet, roof, or boot, or nothing would work in the Hooley bus. And actually, the Hooley bus went to quite a predominant person in this industry.
Can you name that?
Yeah,
name?
sure can. It was Alan Simpson who bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have had some sort of memorabilia in some sort of memorabilia.
Now you're name dropping.
Yes, well, yeah.
Can you tell me what Wally's Peep Show was all about?
Well, in a nutshell, if you had a cardboard carton, say a beer carton,
Yeah.
and you opened up one end of it and you made a stage, right?
Yeah.
And then you opened up the bottom of it and you made, like, the platforms that come up and bring the star up into the middle of the stage.
Yeah.
Then you just have to work out the rest of it for yourself. It wasn't a big opening, let's say.
What is
Could have been bigger, but
what is Swain juice?
looked like beer, had a similar froth to it, except it wasn't cold. It was actually heated up on a stove.
Okay.
Sort of like a very, very weak tea,
Okay.
I suppose you could say. Had a really pungent aroma.
So, I mean, I'm not going to mention who the particular member is here because I know who it is, but what about the dip at parties? Did you know anything about that?
Most dips are made of carbohydrates. Some dips need a little bit of extra protein.
Glasses are fogging up.
That's all it is. I need a drink.
Okay, let's get on to some more serious stuff. Things had to change, obviously, because the Hooley bus, the Wally's Peep Show, Swain Juice, and the dips.
It just wasn't working anymore. It wasn't going down.
So, in 1984, out with Rob, Neville, and Swaney, right?
Yeah.
In V Capri, in comes Todd Johnson, the one and only Todd.
That's the one and only, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damien Ward.
Damien Ward, correct.
What do you call him? Virgil. Yeah, I've got him on my phone. It's Virgil, I think. V Capri. You play at the Florida to 200 people first week.
Mate,
You come back the next week, there's 400.
Mm-hmm.
You come back the next week, there's 800.
exactly
There's
that.
759 girls in that crowd, all wanting a piece of you guys.
Mainly Alan.
Yep. Hello Overflow. Goodbye Frames.
Mm-hmm.
V Capri were on the scene.
We had 1 week to get that band together. So Harlequin finished on a,
I think that week
Friday
I saw
or
you
something?
that week.
yeah, we
It
just
sounded
worked 7
you-
days a week.
It sounded like you'd put it together in a week as well.
Now. Were you part of the 200?
Yeah, that was the first time I think I saw you.
Did you pay?
No, I got in for free.
Okay, well, stop complaining.
No, but I would.
Well,
No
it was a
offence.
1 week episode, and I mean, to build to 800 people in 3 weeks
Yeah.
on a week's rehearsal,
Yeah.
didn't matter how good we were or how bad we were, it was just this sheer energy on stage that
Yeah.
projected. And that's what made the band what it was. It
Yeah.
was, I mean, you have to give Todd that. You know, when he sang his Midnight Oil and those, U2 songs, he was quite dramatic in his thing. And actually, he used to vomit at the end of the night. He'd go out the back and blah, out it comes. So it was a fair bit in there. I'll give
In
him
his
that.
stomach.
I think so. He might have had a few beers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But pulled it off.
He gave it his all.
He gave it. He did give it his all, and that's it all projected. I think the rest of the band did too.
Yeah.
Simo,
According to a few
Mick.
girls I was talking to the other week, you definitely gave it your all.
Yeah, some gave more.
Yeah. Like V Capri, five singles, 3 went to number 1. Al reminds me of that every week of my life, just about. You had a fan club, you did the high scores. I mean, Al and I went and met the minister, David Templeman, recently, and and his PA was sitting there going, "Oh, you're Alan Simpson from Big Capri. You played at my school." And so we're trying to talk about raising money for the profile, and all she wanted to talk about was school.
Probably had a child to her.
So, but, I mean, that was unprecedented, really, for a WA band. So
She wasn't looking for some financial,
no. I'm trying to build you up here, and I mean, it was unprecedented.
It was,
and you must be proud of that.
Totally. I mean, I will say one thing. Alan put a fair bit of that exercise together going into the schools. And we were playing in hotels prior to going to the schools. So we took that plunge and said, look, let's just go to the schools. These are the record buying market. Don't worry about what everybody else says. They were going, oh, kids band. Yet we're still pulling 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people at the overflow and doing schools. We're working midday, doing a show at the pub, and then going down to Blazers or not Blazers, Rockwell's, and doing a show up there as well.
How many of those 14, 15-year-old girls were trying to get into the overflow?
2,000. How many got in? 2,000.
You recorded singles with video clips. You went on Countdown, which was huge, really.
Yeah, for a Perth band, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there were Eurogliders and that, which also formed here. They went on there as well. But with the film clips, I mean, we had helicopters, we had all sorts. There was no real budget. Just punch it out there and just do what we can.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the one with the helicopters also looked like an ad for, welcome to Perth, Western Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was good still. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So Damien obviously left for personal reasons with what happened to him. Clint Arnold joined the band. Clint leaves, Damien comes back, Damien leaves, and Dave Catteran joins.
Dave Catterall comes into the band, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but that was coming in towards the end of it all. We sort of you could see, it was starting to fall apart. Todd was trying to look for a TV gig somewhere, and he ended up getting one, and so it was all sort of falling apart slowly. And management, then on top of that, also that was another. They didn't follow up with our recording contract.
Yeah.
There was a 12-month contract with a option, and that wasn't followed up. So, one thing after another, just sort of
just bands, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But life went on, and we did too.
Yeah. So Haunting Me was probably your biggest single?
Yeah.
So who wrote Haunting Me? You wrote it?
Myself.
Okay. So
I introduced Todd into it as well, so he could write some lyrics into it as well. But I actually wrote that song while we were in the studio recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where it all started.
Yeah. And that's it.
It's as simple as that. It was just a 15-minute play. Got Todd in there and said, look, I've got these lyrics here. Do you want to add to this? And he came back the next day. We added to it and we recorded it after that.
Yeah. Cool.
Straight in.
So you worked with Rio Speedwagon producer Kevin Beamish?
Yeah,
on that?
That was a freaking great experience.
Yeah. Would have learned a lot.
Man, we just about slept with the guy, to that sort of degree,
Please don't tell any of those stories. This is like a family show.
We just about slept with him.
Oh, okay.
Not me.
Okay.
We. Okay. Anyway, coming back to him, his sound was completely different. If you can imagine, the 80s sound was, an American is all compressed.
Yeah.
And when you see how he works that magic into compression, it's just freaking amazing. It totally blows you out of the water.
These days they're recording with depression.
Totally.
Yeah. It's changed, hasn't it? So V Capri ends.
That's it. Got to that point.
Yeah. And then you 10th floor at Alligators with Peter Harper, Dying Count.
10-piece band.
Ray Vine, Sue Chinnery. Yeah, I remember that.
Greasy.
Yeah.
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 It was great fun. It was really good. And, again, it was sort of more funk, more funky, everything about it. A bit of Stevie Wonder, a bit of all that sort of stuff. And it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyable till that disband. there was a lot of members in the band, and a lot of members. When there's a lot of members, there's a lot of options in the band, and some options got together.
Oh,
And
options
they shouldn't have.
are of people.
People.
Yeah.
So that pulled that one apart.
Do you want to mention any names there?
No, I can't do that.
Okay. No, no problem. Not asking you to. Todd goes to TV World Kids Company.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Okay. Magnificent Seven start from start.
No. Todd. He decided, as I said before, you could see it. The wheels are starting to fall off it because he was. Well, mind you, we took a few different directions in the band as well. At that point there, we started going more into like a country rock style band while it was still together, and that was V Capri. It wasn't working because Todd's heart wasn't in it as well, and and that's where it started falling apart. He got his gig with Kids Company, which is what he wanted. So
And all the royalties from Haunting Me.
don't go there.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just
Yeah, thanks, man.
no worries. Just thought I'd bring it up.
It hurt.
So Magnificent Seven start.
Yeah.
So you're pop stars to Cowboy Madness, more or
Well,
less.
yeah, pop star went out the window. Then we went a bit of psycho country.
Mel Lewis,
Yep.
Mick O'Brien, Alan Simpson, Bernie, then Greg. Something I said?
No, not at all.
No, okay. And then Greg Bird joined.
Yeah,
Wonderful
once Birdie
guitar
came
player.
in,
Yeah.
mate, that was it. It
Yeah,
was
because
alive.
he's a real
Yeah.
finger licking, picking.
Mate, he blew me out of the water, that
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, funny thing about that is, I think I was watching the profile when Birdie was on, and he mentioned that how it actually came about was he actually came up to me and he said, "I can play better than him,
Yeah.
your guitar player," and I went, "Oh yeah, that's really good."
How many? Well, lots of people they come and say that sort of stuff.
All the time, And he goes, no, I can play better. And I get up and play a song. And I thought, not really. We like to rehearse because, you've got to try and find something.
He didn't need to rehearse, but
And he goes, well, when are you rehearsing next? And we were actually rehearsing the next day. And I mentioned it to Simo. And I think Simo had a chat with him after that. We got him down there to the rehearsal, and that was at Melvin's house. And I think the first song we played was I Hear the Trina Coming.
the guy could play, man.
And man, when he just let go on that solo, that was
Yeah.
it. It was just goosebumps. I just ran out the room and went, sorry, Bernie, mate.
See you later.
It's over, buddy.
Rock and roll is so much loyalty, isn't it?
It's when you hear the same mistake in the same place for the freaking 8 months that we were with him. I don't know, it felt like 8 months, maybe it was 2 weeks, I don't know. Same mistake. It's just terrible. Hurts.
Not me, Bernie.
Sorry, Bernie.
Mate, so
But as a gentleman, he was he was a nice guy. Loved him.
Yeah.
That killed me. That part killed me. I couldn't do it.
who actually said Bernie? Who told him?
Well, I think
Was
I
it
can't remember
Simo?
if it was myself or Simo.
Yeah. That's me.
That's right.
He was what? Boarding with him?
Can we edit this?
No, there's no editing on this.
Well, no, he's not working with him anymore.
No, so tell me, sorry.
Yeah, it was Mick.
Mick.
That's right. At Channel 10.
Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of dirt out of you. Not much, but So you leave Mag 7 because
Got married.
you went to get married for the first time.
That was the first time, yeah.
Yeah, you opened up a restaurant in Applecross
Yeah.
and you sort of changed a lot of...
Tried to put a bit of stability back into a marriage life, and it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
Just didn't happen. Once it's in your blood, it's in your blood. You got to keep going. So that sort of fell apart, and then I went back into music again.
So you put together Peace Love with Billy, Rob Watson.
It was actually a band called The Freeze first.
Okay, yeah.
Same thing, same style of music, all that one-hit wonders, English 70s pop sort of thing. And that was Rob Harrison, myself, and 3 other prototypes
Okay,
that I cannot remember,
okay.
unfortunately. And the bass player made the same mistake in the same place all the time as well, and that did my head in as well. Yeah. That's the only downfall.
Yeah.
So that was a prototype. Then after that, I had Billy Jermaine, Richard Hart, which is an absolutely freaking mind-blowing guitar player.
Yeah, Richard's from Whyalla as well.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the Whyalla boys. A great guitar player.
He's off his head.
Yeah.
But it gave it that edge in that type of music that we were doing. So Billy Jermaine was just really laid back, but he slotted into that groove perfectly.
Yeah.
Rob Watson came in.
Yep.
And
another Whyalla boy.
Yeah, he had his headbands and everything still.
Yeah. And his armband and his headband.
The whole works. Yeah, and still got them today.
Yeah.
As he's playing.
Yeah. I played in a band called The Dream with him with Tony Woodward.
But he was good with his 18-string bass guitar, you know, and his vocals were brilliant too, you know. So
very good, very good.
And then I brought Todd in, and it was all good, you know, with Rob Harrison and Todd and all that.
Yeah.
But Rob Harrison was pretty high up in the police force, so you know his job commitments were pretty intense, and he went back into that side of things.
Yeah.
And you know, we started playing in that, but then actually in between all of this, when Todd came in and auditioned the first time, he wanted to get a couple of the other members in from the Frames, like, you know, Max and Clint in the band. So he wanted them to audition as well. But with that style of music, it's a groove that you got to get into, and it's like trying to write a 60s song now. It's really difficult to write a song with that 60s essence in it. These guys just slotted in, the sound was right, everything was perfect, and that's why the band sort of went bang straight up.
Todd probably haunted you, excuse the pun, because he did get Clint in. He did get his way. He did get the 90% of the band. He did get
that was the way that it went.
You went that way, and he still got it.
No, he didn't, because that only lasted one rehearsal, and then I got Billy back in again, and I got Richard Hart back again, and then from there it just went straight up. The band is still going now.
Yeah, but who's in the band now?
Well, Todd's in the band, yeah. It's Todd Johnston and Peace, Love and all that stuff. Todd Johnston and the Puppets. I mean, Todd Johnston and Peace, Love and all that stuff.
No, but Clint's in the band, isn't he? Clint's still in the band.
Yeah.
So you got Todd and Clint.
Yeah, and Max is not though.
Yeah, okay. So you won on that one, okay. So Peace, Love, 1994 through 2008, you've just told us there's all sorts of stuff going in and out there.
Yeah, we'll just leave that lie, I suppose. But
yeah. So you always had a love for cars. I see it on Facebook. Your daughter's been racing. You're a builder as well.
Yeah, but I build cars as well.
Yep.
So and mainly Jags as well. So.
Yeah.
But love my cars, love racing.
Is that an expensive hobby? It must be.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
One motor is a $40,000 exercise if you blow it up in one night.
So it must be all that money, cash Simo was putting aside for you. And
might have been.
Got you through
no, it's
that,
called sponsors.
Sponsors.
And the sponsor was me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so every time my daughter won, it was, you know, I'd like to thank my dad's credit card.
Yeah. So you've got a passion for it.
Total passion. It's just that rush, you know, when you go from, well, you talk a full-on drag car, you know, just say a nitro car, it goes from 0 to 520 kilometres an hour in 4.5 seconds. The G-forces just on that alone is incomprehensible, you know. So
I just don't get it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's great when, you know, to go from 0 to 240 kilometres an hour in 8 seconds is pretty amazing. My daughter was going 0 to 132 kilometres an hour in 7.9 seconds.
Wow.
So, you know, that's, jump in your car tonight, flatten it, see how long it takes to get to that speed, and then go, geez, that took 15 seconds in my Porsche.
But 911. I couldn't do that because I'd be breaking the law, and I don't break the law. So
no, true.
Yeah.
But
so
only enough, you know. You can only do so much drag racing.
Yeah.
Before you run out of money.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I don't see the point. But okay, you started a building company.
Yeah. Glory Construction.
Yeah.
And all industrial, commercial. I think I built this thing.
You built this thing here? Really? Wow.
It was actually a the air conditioning ducting if I can remember right. Yeah. So, is the ceiling still standing up? Yes, it is.
Well, no, it's not actually. It's actually...
That wasn't my fault.
Mark's complaining about the ceiling, ain't
No,
you?
no. Well, hang on. This is his fit out. It's not my fit out. I can tell straight away. I don't use those window frames.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
let's get back to the...
So these days you're starting to play music again?
Yeah, and I've given it away for a while. You know, separated. So now it's back to music full time. Got a few things up my sleeve at the moment. One of them is getting another band together.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's in the process. I was also having a chat to Simo about another outfit as well.
Yeah.
So that's another thing in the pipeline too. So, yeah. Just want to play.
So you had a second marriage.
That was ages ago.
Get out! Come on, get. You had a second marriage.
That was in the Magnificent 7 days.
Okay.
Just before there.
Yeah.
We're into the third marriage here.
Oh, okay. So you've been married 3 times. Okay.
Life of a musician.
And they're all
women. Yes.
They're all women. So. No, I was going to say they're all gone.
They're all gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just the last one was 18 years. So.
Wow.
Yeah. But it, you know, and that's why I gave away music and took up drag racing to try and create some stability in the family. But that didn't work either.
Now you can create some stability in playing music.
In my brain, mate. That's where I've got to create the stability now. Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So it's just back on the keyboards again, practicing and scales and you know, vocals and just punching it out.
Yeah. So who is your biggest influence musically in your life?
Oh, Deep Purple. I mean, I bought their first album, 1975. Oh yeah, definitely.
The old B3. And...
Man, yeah. You know, live in Japan. What a great album.
Yeah.
But the other influence was Joe Cocker. I snuck into a concert.
Yeah.
And at the Entertainment Centre, and I saw Joe Cocker. You know, obviously when you sneak in, you sit in a chair, and then the guy comes over and he goes, "Oh, it's my chair, mate." You move over to another one, keep moving around till there's no one there. And the amount of tinnies that guy had on stage.
Yeah.
What a gig.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought that's it for me. Free beer, you know, free women.
Yeah.
And have a great time and you get paid for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah. So, other jobs throughout your life apart from building or restaurants, anything else?
I had a panel beating business.
Yeah.
I'm a plumber as well, licensed plumber. So I've had that, restaurant, plumbing business, panel beating business.
So you're obviously a hard
pretty much
worker,
everything.
Apart from
Body's telling me all about it now.
Yes. You're looking all right, mate, for your age.
That's my daughter, my beautiful, beautiful girl, Jamie. Yeah. 28-day challenge.
Yep.
We're punching it hard, and I've got more than one ab.
Yeah. I've been on a 28-year challenge.
You're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm all right. So do a bit of swimming and stuff. So, your favourite band of all time, is it Deep Purple or?
Deep Purple. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were stranded on a...
Well, actually, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Queen.
Queen.
And the reason being, 1975 again, I mean, as much as Deep Purple dropped their album on my lap, I'm going from the bedroom to the bathroom and I hear frickin' Bohemian Rhapsody. And I just stopped in the middle. And I just listened to this thing and I'm going, what the hell is this? And from that point there, I love arranging harmonies. Just from what that was doing there, and that was it. I was hooked. So yeah, Queen just did it for me. And in fact, I went and saw Queen with Adam Lambert when they came in.
And that was great.
Fantastic
brilliant
show.
And it's funny because the only time I ever played with you was in the pub legends of the 80s. We did.
Did we play together?
Yeah. You can't remember that when you were in the rehearsal room trying to organise harmonies.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant before that.
No.
Yeah, going. Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
Yeah, so you say that, and then I think back to that, and that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
You were like,
I love
You
it.
do this, and you do that.
Love harmonies. Freaking love arranging harmonies.
Yeah.
That's my passion.
Did you enjoy the Pub Legends thing?
Which one?
The Pub Legends at the Charles. Do you remember it?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah. I think we did the Pecco gig.
Yep.
And,
There's
there's a DVD just coming out. Well, just come out.
Did it just come out?
Yeah.
The Pecco one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, no one's seen it yet.
Well, that's
I
not
haven't
good.
either. We're just waiting for some copies to get done so we can.
Where are they getting done?
At ProCopy.
Where else?
Where we're sitting right now. Where else? The old Dr. Welby. You know. So.
I'm looking forward to it, actually. That'll be a really good thing.
Yeah.
Show.
It's about 3.5 hours, is it, Mark?
Actually, that was a great show.
2.5 hours. 2.5 hours and unedited. So yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I'm in a nutshell, yeah.
Yeah. So your favourite TV show growing up, what would that have been?
You know, I love Hogan's Heroes.
Yep.
Just, that's, you know, that one there, Thunderbirds and Gilligan's Island, but at Hogan's Heroes
Yep.
is the one that just, you know, just got me every time.
So if you were stranded on a deserted island, would you take Deep Purple live in Japan?
Am I alone?
What? Yeah, you're alone. You can only take one album with you. What would it be?
I'd take probably Mariah Carey's Christmas Carols.
Whoa. Would you really?
So I could shoot myself at the end. Why would I want to be on an island on my own?
Well, you just.
Pow!
I mean, what would you take? What album would you want to listen to?
I just want to be Christmas.
Look, that album's got some great songs on it. You know,
It has.
She
Till you get
sings
to the end.
A really good Jesus Was Born, a really good version of Jesus Was Born. Where
It's a good album.
She hits 3 octaves, and anyway, that's
But
another
would you
story.
take it on an island and want to survive there on your own for the rest of your life with it?
No, that would drive me nuts. Mariah Carey album, but anyway. So, what does your future hold for you, Lance?
Music.
Yep.
Full on, yeah. I'm just going to go into it. There's a few other things I've got in the pipeline as well. You know, in probably more of a managerial type area, but that's in an embryo stage at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, over the years, you just gather all this knowledge, and you just want to push it into other areas, other bands, other things.
Help
and
people out. Help.
There's so many good bands out there. I've checked out a fair few. There's so many good bands that they just don't have that direction. You know, like
They don't have that mischievousness, maybe.
I just don't think they've had the experience. You know, in our day, I mean, I used to come and see you guys on a Friday down at the Underground. I used to enjoy Hooker because it was so different. But every band, because it was working continuously, had this element that it almost, where would you go with it? Every band was successful. Every band was playing. Every band had a full house, or every band had a lot of people in it. So they had that experience, but no one's sharing that experience with the bands that are out there that haven't got that sort of knowledge, or they'll never have that crowd, you know, like we had. We never had, you know, iPhones and computers and shit and crap, and you know, you're not really venturing out.
It's a different world now.
Completely. So these guys are just living in a fantasy world, whereas we lived in the real time. We had to entertain.
That was great.
They are trying to entertain, but they don't know how to, and that's what I want to show them. You know, I see a band at the Mustang Bar on a Saturday night after 11. Young bunch. They are probably the most entertaining band I've seen in ages.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the band,
Yeah.
but they are really on the mark.
Okay.
You know, they remind us of what we did back
What
then.
sort of
So
music are they playing?
It's 90s to 2000.
Yeah.
But it's just the stuff that everybody knows and everybody sings.
Yeah.
And they haven't got time to do selfies on the dance floor because they're just singing along to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And to me, you know, educating other bands to do similar sort of stuff and showing them what these guys do and emulate that you'll do the same.
Yeah. So management, maybe?
Eventually,
Yeah, cool.
definitely.
So do you have any unfulfilled ambitions?
Yeah. I'd probably like to do a gig with Todd.
Okay.
Hmm.
So do you, talking about that, do you think that will ever happen, or V Capri will ever get back together for a reunion, or?
No, I think it's probably going to be sort of more of an unfulfilled ambition.
Yeah. So you're serious when you're saying you?
I don't think it'll ever happen. No, I think it's.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I just think Todd's management is a little bit strong.
Does Todd have management?
Todd has management. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? And they're just going to say no, even if
They'll
Todd,
say no.
Yeah.
They'll say no.
Do you think Todd wants to do it, or?
They'll say no.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. None of us really talk. So,
Okay.
and don't know why. I have no idea why, especially after, we've been together for that many years.
If you could say something to Todd right now, let's say Todd
Oh,
looking at the camera, what would you say to
give me a call. I need to find out why, where, how. There's just unresolved issues here that I don't know. And I'm sure some of the other members don't know either.
Have you tried calling him, or?
Well, let's just say I've been to Burswood a few times, looked at him as he's walking towards me, and he just keeps walking straight past me.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sure he recognises me.
Oh, you maybe changed a little bit.
I have, a couple more greys.
Yes.
Not as much as some, but
Yeah.
a couple of greys.
Oh well, maybe you could go and camp outside his front door and.
No, I think it's time to move on.
Okay.
That's all there is.
No worries. Do you collect anything?
Yeah, watches.
Watches?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that one?
That one's a tag.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a long life thing. And cars.
Cars and watches.
Yeah.
What would you put on your gravestone, Lance?
Probably won't get married again.
You've had 3 goes.
Yeah, won't get married again.
Maybe a 4th time.
No, I'll be in grave.
Oh yeah, you would be too. Sorry. Is there something that we don't know about you that you might want to share with us and the viewers, or?
There probably is. But
Yeah.
some things are best left.
Yep. No pressure.
Yeah. Or that would be another series, After Dark. There's so much in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tell-all.
It's a tell-all.
Yeah, tell-all. Yeah.
Yeah. I've closed the book. I've closed the book. You don't want to say anything else to me?
No. That's on the next one. The tell-all.
Okay.
The After Dark one.
Lance Karapetcoff. I hope I said that right again.
You said it perfect.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
for being
you.
a good sport.
Absolute
Thanks
pleasure.
for coming in and sharing your journey with us. It's certainly been a great one.
No, it's been pretty wild, yeah.
Yeah. That's it for this week. Thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you next week.
Gimme the Number, an original composition by Skydiver.
You give me the number, 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 you give me love, you give me love. You shaking your papa, you shaking your papa, you shaking your papa, you shaking your papa, you give me love, you give me love. Ow. I'm telling you once, girl, I'm telling you twice. You gotta give me some advice. You give me love. You give me love. You give me the number. 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 You give me love. You give me love. Yeah. You give me the number, 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 you give me the the number, you give me love. You give me love. You give me love. You give me love.
That was Gimme the Number, an original composition by Skydiver.
At ProCopy, we can transfer audio to CD, make CD, DVD and Blu-ray copies, transfer video to DVD, Blu-ray or HD, digitize slides and photos and supply custom USBs. You can see more details at procopy.com.au or call us on 08 9375 3902 for more information.